Day and welcome to the newspaper review on Cactv. This is the morning dew. I am super delighted to be on your screen this morning. Away from all of the stories, my name is Mother Dominic, and it's so good to be here.
Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Yes, we are live, and this is the newspaper review this morning. My name is Shegun White, as you all know. Welcome to the program today. Let's have a fun-filled day. Yeah.
My name is Oladipo. I welcome you to our broadcast today this morning.
Okay, so quickly would go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the quotes and then check the news that is making headline for today. So we'll be right back shortly.
Okay, praise God. Welcome back. This is the segment where we take the quote for the day from the Word of God. And what we are looking at is Matthew 11:28, which says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." I will try some other versions of the Bible. From the NLT, it says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." Now, what is this passage telling us? It's telling us to cast all of our burdens. Let's find rest and relief in the comforting presence of Jesus. Now, from all the things that we are going through in this world, you will agree with me that no one has the power to be able to face the challenges of life alone. Okay, so if you realize that you cannot do it by yourself, you need an extra help. You need a hand. You need an assistance, and sometimes you need the supernatural to come into your natural situation and turn it around for your good. And so we are urging you, as children of God, wherever you are, cast your burdens, no matter how big it is. Our God is bigger than the biggest, and He is stronger than the strongest, and He will be able to give you rest from all of your struggles and all of your strife. Keep your hope on Him, trust Him 100%, and you will not be disappointed. Thank you. God bless you.
All right, thank you so much, White, for leading us into that spiritual dimension.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so quickly, let's take a look at the news making headlines. So we're starting with the Punch newspaper. So as you all know, it's always the Punch. Okay, so the first story on the Punch says FG denies subsidy return, more fuel stations shut. The federal government on Monday denied reintroducing the subsidy on premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, amid the closure of many filling stations nationwide due to various challenges in the downstream oil sector. It is also said the pocket of queues observed by motorists in petrol stations across the country stemmed from hiccups in product distributions from the south to the north, not a lack of supply. Okay, so that's the first story that we have on the Punch newspaper, and it's going by this. It's really not a good story. It's really not a good headline to hear this morning, that we have to now go back to the point where we have to start queuing for petrol and then having scarcity. Now, the amount we used to pay boarding buses, the amount we used to pay 2 days ago is not what we're paying now. So literally things have changed, and I really need to understand why this is coming up at this time. Engineer Ola, could you help us?
Well, from what NNPC said, they're not talking about fuel scarcity in the country as of now, and they are saying that the government has not removed the subsidy. That is what people have been speculating. But what the group MD is telling us is that is lack of distribution. That the difficulty from moving the petrol from the south to the north is what is causing the scarcity. It is not that they don't have enough petroleum in to supply in their depot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not lack of supply. That is what it's telling us. And he said that subsidy has not returned because according to him, he said if the government did not remove the subsidy in June, NNPC would have gone bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they are working very hard on this matter that there will be sufficient. But people are saying that the landing cost is now 720, and NNPC is telling us that they are not ready to increase the fuel price. So let's wait and see if what they are saying is going to be right or not. Time will tell.
Okay, so my question now is why do we then have increase in transportation if for now the price is still sold at what it is? So and you know, one thing about Nigerians is just that with the moment they hear about subsidy or they hear scarcity or they hear that some filling stations are shutting down, they automatically begin to increase rate of transportation and all. So if that is the case, what do you think can be done in this?
You see, what I see is that before now, there's some set of people that have been, doing Father Christmas with this commodity. They have acquired lots of money on the subsidy. We cannot really pinpoint how the subsidy is being done. We can say, oh, we have subsidy. So the price of the petroleum pump is one and something naira, but now it has gone up. So many people have been affected. So there are kind of lots of rumors that the price will go up again, that importers cannot bring the fuel into this country. But what NNPC is telling us is what we have to believe. So far, as at yesterday, I still buy at 600 naira per litre. That is the pump price of petroleum. The price has not increased in Lagos as at yesterday. Even as at this morning, it has not increased. But this is just, let me say, speculation. But like I said, time will tell. Now again, it's giving us assurance that by December this year, the refinery in Port Harcourt will be ready. It's a matter of time. We'll be able to know if the group director of NNPC is saying the truth or it's just imagining things. Time will tell.
And it would be just so good to have our both refineries in Nigeria functioning, the Dangote and then that of Port. I think that would also ease a lot of pressure that we are currently going through. So let's take a look at the second story. The second story says Lagos suspends planned mass burial for NSAS victim. Yeah, this is October. This is October, yes. So it's basically the time where we have to go through all of this. Okay, now going through with the story, this says the Lagos state government says it has suspended its planned mass burial of the 103 corpses recovered in the wake of the October 2020 NSAS protest. The Lagos State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Mr. Benga Omotosho, told the Punch on Monday that the planned mass burial had been suspended following the controversy generated by the announcement in July. Okay, so that's the second story that we also have from the Punch newspaper, and this mass burial has been suspended. I think this is the second time it has been suspended, and then it's still, when I was going through the page this morning on Facebook, and I saw a lot of comments and like, why is this being postponed again? Why do we keep going back and forth on this thing? Let's just do this thing once and for all, and let the people who are still mourning their lost one, let them just have peace of mind and be sure that this is gone, and not waking up the things that they are trying to forget. Okay, so White, let me come to you on this.
Okay, really, our government needs to we need to hold our government accountable, and government needs to be responsible to their promises when it is being made. In fact, let me just tickle us a little bit. Though initially we were told that there were no killings in the 2020 NSAS protests, and now we are coming up with mass burial for the 103 dead bodies.
Where did that come from?
So where did it come from? So who kills who? Who is lying? Who is saying the truth? All right. So that being said, no names mentioned. Now that the best mass burial, it has been, acknowledged,
Yeah.
and then now the mass burial. What is there? When you were when I was reading this, what was going through my mind is what is there in burial? Just lay these bodies to rest. Lay them to rest. A mass burial shouldn't cost. So what is the
What's the ceremony exactly?
maybe there are situations surrounding it. Okay, we don't know. Okay, we are only here to review. So maybe the situation surrounding it, but the expectation of the populace is that these things shouldn't take
longer than
this. Let's just go ahead with the mass burial. That's it.
All right, Engineer, do you have something to say to that? Okay, that being said, so let's take a look at the next story that we have. This says slain lawyer, Lagos NBA welcomes death sentence for killer cop. A Lagos State High Court sitting at the Tafawa Balewa Square on Monday convicted and sentenced a suspended assistant superintendent of police, which is Drambi Vandi, who killed a Lagos lawyer. Yes, I'm sure we remember the story of the pregnant lawyer who was shot by a police officer, and so this story tells that he has been convicted and he has been sentenced to death by hanging. Yes, he has to die by hanging. So let me read this part that says the judge held that the convict should this man should be convicted by hanging to death until he dies. Okay, so which means he also has to go through the pain at which he also.
Hold on, seriously, I support this, but I'm not happy with this.
Okay,
do you know why? Do you know why? Good. Must it be that bad things will have to happen to people of notable position before actions will be taking place? Now, there has been a lot of killings, stray bullets from the police, from this police people who have killed 1, 2, 3 people that we can mention or can dig out.
Of course.
Do you understand? So because this is happening, I'm not. This is my opinion, and my opinion is entirely mine, actually. But if for those who are listening to me now, they will know. I mean, they will try to understand what I'm trying to say now, because this is happening to a lawyer, the Nigerian Bar Association is now coming out to sanction or to support the death
They've been
sentence.
on this case.
To support death sentence for killer police. That should have been on ground, because what I've been hearing since I was young is that anybody that kills somebody will be killed when you do you understand? So why do I think 1 or 2 policemen have killed people, unfortunately, and we don't hear anything about it. But I support this law that has been put in place now and laid now, so it's good, but we don't need to wait until it happens to a prominent Nigerian before we now come to action.
All right, thank you so much for shedding more light on that. Okay, so we'll take the next story before we go on a quick break. So this is from Vanguard, the first story from Vanguard, and it says how Obasanjo, Soyinka, Akintoye, Adebanjo orders secured my release, says Sunday Igboho. Okay, so after 2 years, when he was being convicted, and now he has been released, he came out to say that yes, I am thanking the rulers, those who made it possible. Now I am free to come back to my nation, to my country with peace. So we all know the story about Sunday Igboho, the man who a search was done in his house, and it was said that some weapons was found in his apartment.
We are concerning this release. I think trust Yoruba people, they will do party because of this.
So now, a welcome party. So he came out and said he's thanking these people, how they have helped him, and then also the prominent ones who have also helped him make this release possible. So let me come to you, Engineer Ola.
Yes, well, but you see, one thing is that when we are going to the farm, you must go with cutlasses and hoes. You can't just go to the farm empty-handed. If you want to be an activist or you want to become a freedom fighter, you must be well prepared. You know, normally what Igbo was fighting for then and what he fought for was because of these Fulani herdsmen that were terrorizing farmers, people. And then, you know, the government, if the government is taking a very bold action on that, people like Igbo wouldn't have come into the picture. Because many people have been killed on their farm. We learned of a man who came from America, you know, to establish in Nigerian agricultural sector. He bought so many equipment from America and he had hectares of land for farming. The man was massacred and he died on his farm. So this is one of the reasons why Igbo came out. But you know, one thing is that as an activist, if you are not fully prepared, but thank God the man has been released and he's now giving his thanks to Obasanjo, as Adebanjo, Nadeko Lida, Professor Akintoye, you know, that people, good minds that went to Cotonou to make sure that this guy was not, you know, killed. He was put under house arrest. Now he has traveled to Germany. It's a very good lesson for any activist, any Nigerian wants to become an activist, that you have to look at the ground very well before you say I want to be an activist.
Okay, so but my one of the things that's bothering my mind is that why this is something that happened in Nigeria. This is what happened in our country here in Lagos. So why was he convicted over there in Cotonou?
No, he was not. You see, one thing, the police, you know, they have Interpol. It's a department in the police that, okay, if anything happens in your country, you know, and I want to arrest somebody who ran out of my country to your country, I could arrest the person if you have a mutual understanding between the two countries. So that's why they have the Interpol. He was arrested in Cotonou on behalf of Nigerian government. You understand? Because according to Nigerian government, he became an SKP. He's running. He's on the run. And then, you know, the order was given that, okay, this guy is on the run. He was arrested. But instead of that, they wanted to bring him back to Nigeria. But notable Nigerians are saying, no. What is the offense he has committed? We do not agree with that offense. His house was raided and they said they found ammunition in his house. We do not believe in that. So because of the influence they have in that country, they were able to talk to the government officials that, okay, if you want to prosecute him, do it in this country. Don't send him back home. His life is at danger. So he was detained in Cotonou on behalf of, but since Nigeria did not make any effort to say, okay, we want to repatriate him and bring him back to the country, though they make an effort, but was blocked. So eventually, he went to court in Cotonou and they said, okay, you are under detention. Now, he was able to secure his release with the assistance of notable Yoruba leaders. You know, this is one thing about the Yoruba people. They believe so much in communal effort. And if somebody is guilty, Yoruba will not abhor you. They will try to expose you that, okay, this guy is guilty. You have to investigate him properly before you can pronounce judgment on him. They believe so much in fair judgment. They will not back out from assisting their fellow Yoruba person if he's in dire trouble. That is what I think happened with Sunday Igboho. And then to you know, there was a day I remember we were coming from Ikeji, and then we had some kidnappers that attacked people on the road. So when Sunday Igboho came to that particular scene, he alighted off from his vehicle and he went to inside the forest to rescue these people. You know, he did a very good thing. You know, even when the Fulani people came to a farm in Okeogun to raid them, he went there again to fight on their behalf and be able to rescue them. So he was fighting for the peace for the people. But one thing is that you cannot single-handedly say, I want to fight the government. It is not possible to fight the government. Single-handedly. You cannot do that. There's no way you can win.
But I think it's not from the story. I think it's not fighting the government. It's fighting the headsmen who are perpetrating evil, killing people in their farms and taking over territories which does not belong to them.
But so the government came to raid his house.
The government came to raid his house.
Yes.
So I think it is questionable there that government is is getting attacked from government, getting attacked also from the herdsmen, and getting attacked from
Meanwhile, he was supposed to get
from
support from the government.
unknown individuals also who feel this guy, I don't like his face. Okay, so that's why he had to run for his dear life. And what is when you were saying his house was raided and they found ammunitions there, what was going through my mind was, were those ammunitions actually there?
And then they judge a lot of people.
What gives us the assurance that the ammunitions were not planted?
No, one thing is this: we have to be careful with whatever we are saying, because I was not there when the house was raided. This is the information we've got, and he denied it that there were no ammunition in my house. But he escaped somehow, and then the government said, okay, you are now on the wanted list. Even the governor of Oyo State then, Ibakide, now said, I'm the CSO of this particular state.
Yes.
Before you do any raid in my state, you have to be informed. I was not informed, but all those are forgotten story now. Thank God the man is now in Germany with his family.
All right, thank you so much for shedding more light to that story. All right, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at further stories that we have. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying tuned. So we'll take a look at the next story that we have still on Vanguard newspaper, and this says this is from The Nation actually. So from The Nation newspaper, we have the first story saying Tinubu appoints Fela Durotoye, 4 orders in media adversary. Okay, President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of Fela Durotoye and 4 others to serve in the office of the president under the Media and Publicity Directorate. Okay, the appointment was announced by Chief Ajuri Ngelali in a press release on Monday. So the nominees that we have there is Mr. Fela Durotoye, Senior Special Assistant to the President, and we also have Mr. Frederick Mwabufo. That's number 2, and we also have that is also the Senior Special Assistant to the President. We also have Mrs. Linda Mwabuawu, and we also have Mr. Aliyu Audu. Okay, and many others. Okay, the last one we also have is Mr. Francis Ada Abba. Okay, so that's for The Nation newspaper. That's the first story that we have, and it's a good thing to know that our president rather is doing a good thing, trying to see that we have a lot of people in the publicity department. So, Engineer, let me start with you on this.
Well, he's taking a very good step, very bold good step, because to be able to sell the government to people, the media must be up and doing. And at the same time, again, he has more young Nigerians now coming to serve in the media department. I think they can do something very good, because they are young minds, and they should be able to move the government forward. When you know much about the government of the day, what the government is doing, what is happening, sometimes you have comfort in your mind that, this government is working. But when you are blinded and you don't know what the government is doing, whether the government is doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Nothing is coming out. But like a journal is saying today that okay, any president of a country should be able to identify what he wants to do and how he's going to do it. If people in the media can tell us, oh, this is what the government is going to do and how the government is going to do it, like we heard that, okay, by December of this year, that is the refinery in Port Harcourt will be working. We have gotten that information. We now see how it's being done. By December, gracefully, we hope that the refinery will be working. So it's a good step that is taken now, that is trying to build up the media of the country. And I believe these people will be able to do very well because they are young minds.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's take a look at the next story. And I know you have something to say, but please, let's take a look at the next story.
Well, quickly, let me just tip in there. I saw Chief Ajuri Ngelale as that guy, because he's a young man. So has he become a chief now? Because I don't know when he was nominated or he was coronated.
Are you from his town? So you don't know
So
how much information do you have
so
about
we
him?
need Chief Ajuri Ngelale to please let us know when the chieftaincy came in. We need that.
I don't think that one concerns us. That is his own personal title.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a look at the next story. This says, this is from the Guardian newspaper. This says, Hamas prepared for a long war with Israel as concerns for hostages in Gaza grow. Ali Barake, a member of the militant group Exiled Leadership, has said that it will use the hostage, I beg to say, to secure the release of Palestinians prisoners. Okay, so Hamas is ready to fight a longer war with Israel and will use the dozens of hostages being held in Gaza to secure the militant group, as said, speaking to the Associated Press news agency. Ali Barake, a member of the group Exiled Leadership in Beirut, said that the Hamas has an arsenal of rockets that will last a long time. So this Israel fight is really becoming alarming, and I feel so bad for the masses who are being affected, because this fight, I don't know if they understand that it is not just about them, it is about people who are dying, people who don't even know anything about this. For how long will this continue? Engineer, I know you have so much to say about it, please keep it brief.
people used to say that nothing can come out of Israel except war. Every time in the news, war, and war. And war does not bring peace.
And you also know that, sorry to cut you, that in the Bible it was also said about this continues till date. Why? Is it because it was something that happened back then and then they kept it as a trend?
Maybe the beef between David and Goliath is still in
No, you
session.
see, one thing is that I think the world leaders, especially the America, has to sit down and find a everlasting solution to this problem. So that it will not.
Because I know there are people
Or
who
do they even see that they need to intervene? That
when you now look at the effect of this war on the world economy, then you understand from where I am coming from. Now, crude oil price has increased because of this war in the Middle East. And this war has been there for a very long time. It has been fought before. Now they are continuing. Many lives have been lost. I think the world leaders, especially the Americans, should sit down, find a lasting solution to solve this problem of war. Then my prayer is that this war does not lead to Third World War. Because already we have a war that is going on between Russia and Ukraine. The American, with the West put together, the Europeans are supporting Ukraine. And Russia now has an ally in China, Iran, and North Korea. So what are we looking at?
And they are also soliciting for some of the African
And then
nations.
and then if you go back again to Nostradamus, the man who saw tomorrow, he has predicted that Third World War is coming. And this Third World War will start from this particular area, the Middle East. So what can we do to prevent this? And it's a war that is a wind that will blow nobody good at all. Now Hamas is saying, okay, we will be destroying. Israel is saying we will retaliate. And a little problem that you can solve in your parlor, not even in the flat of a house, in the parlor, amicably. See, it's now escalating. And now you want to make an accord that you call Abraham Accord. That I believe you believe that okay, all the children of Abraham should come together and become one family. You want to make an accord, and this thing is happening. Now, okay, I will not support what the Hamas people have done. And there was a carnival, open carnival in the desert, and many lives were lost, many people were killed, were slaughtered. And again, Hamas is now saying that if you bomb Gaza again without notifying the people to get out of that particular area, will be killing one Israelis, one hostage. You know, what are they telling us? What are they preaching to us? I think the Americans should have now. Russia is now embarking on that and saying, condemning America now, and that Russia will now use this as a tool to fight back. So what we are just running away from is that we don't want third world war. It's the one that will not blow anybody good in Africa.
Exactly.
At all. It will not blow anybody good in Africa. At all. So my take on that is that though our president have said that okay, he's condemning the war. That's what I'm saying, that okay, American government should stand up and say no to that war, so that call them to the negotiation table so that they stop killing people, they stop losing lives.
Honestly, I think the union also needs to come into this and make sure that this does not
the
push
United
further.
Nations, the G20, the G20 countries, all the bodies, all these institutions and organizations that we have that's comprising of
Yes,
the
the
different
UN
countries.
really needs to come
They need to
this.
come into this, just like Engineer last said, to have. That's the reason why we have these United Nations. That's the reason why we have all these organizations, so that when there are conflicts, we'll settle these conflicts
honestly,
amicably.
just
But
the same
for
way
your
they did
information, a representative of the Israelis I saw in the news yesterday said they are trying to make a negotiation with their Hamas so that they can sit down and talk about it amicably. They also do not want attention to talk. So it seems like one is still like, I don't want to bow down to you, you have to bow down to me.
But for that again, the European Union is saying that the fund they wanted to release to the Palestinians, they are stopping the fund now because of what has happened.
Because of what has happened.
Now you see now, which means we are taking stand. Look at what is the name of American president now. He is saying that okay, when Netanyahu is saying that we have to retaliate with full force, war has started. He does not have the courage to tell Netanyahu that don't fight.
Yeah.
Let's stop this war.
I think Biden is actually
Biden is not saying anything as a war leader, because when we now see that the Christians and the Muslims are fighting together, what is going to be the consequential effect? It will not be good for everybody, for anybody at all.
Exactly.
Now look at how the Israelites are retaliating. What they are doing, they are attacking hospitals, they are attacking ambulances, they are killing people. Hamas too, they are kidnapping. So how long will this last? And we are just okay. Look at what the stand of South Korea today. He said because of what has happened in Palestine, the South Korean government is now saying we have to be very careful and be watchful. We don't want to have any negotiations to do again with North Korea. We have to be on alert.
And also we need to look at the economic effects of these wars.
Yes,
because we destroy lives, we destroy properties, and
destroy technology.
We destroy technologies, and those things we are destroying, they are worth millions. They are worth a fortune. So if you now want to build them back again, you are going to spend another money for something that is supposed to be maintained. You are now building it all over again. That's one. Two, these ammunitions and rockets. Where are you getting the funds from? The funds are supposed to use to develop yourself, develop your country, invest in yourself, make the world a better place. You also need to buy destructive materials.
And how long will that continue?
For how long? It doesn't make any sense.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the newspaper review. So quickly, we'll take a look at what we have in the world of sport, and White is going to help us with that. Yes, so quickly, let's go on this break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the news for sport. Stay tuned.
Okay, people, you're welcome back, and this is the sports segment of the newspaper review on Cactv. I start with the Napoli. The chief coach of Napoli, Garcia, may face sack according to the UEFA champion. According to the reports that we are getting, that there are indications that Napoli may part ways with coach Rudy Garcia following the poor title defense of the team in the Serie A. Victor Osimhen and his team suffered their second defeat of the season against Fiorentina after a 3-1 loss at home to the visitors at the weekend, with fans fuming over the team's display since Garcia took charge of the team this season. So far, Napoli had played 8 matches with 4 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses, with the defeats suffered at home against Lazio and Fiorentina. So no club wants to lose, everybody wants to win. Napoli is considering whether to part ways with Garcia. Okay, the second one we have here is that Super Falcons maiden call-up excites Babajide. Spanish Liga F side UD Granadilla Tenerife Rinsola. Tenerife. Alright, Rinsola Babajide has received a first ever call-up to the Super Falcons as the Nigerian Football Federation announced a 22-player roster ahead of the Super Falcons 2024 Women Olympic Football Tournament qualification fixture against the senior women national team of Ethiopia. FIFA recently approved the Liverpool alumni request to change association from England to Nigeria. Babajide was a member of the Young Lioness squad that won the bronze medal at the 2018 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. Reacting to a maiden invitation on the social media platform, the X, the 25-year-old who was voted, she was honored for the opportunity of playing for the women's national team. The love I've been feeling has been overwhelming. Thank you so much, grateful and blessed for this opportunity. Okay, that's coming from our Twitter page. That's Risola Babajide. Also, the social media has been trailing or trending for the after or the post-match reactions from the star match that happened this weekend between Arsenal and the EPL title champions Manchester City. It's been said side Erling Haaland towards Mikel Arteta, the coach of Arsenal. Alright, so as time goes on, speculations have been going back and forth on that. The FA also announced that they may not be taking any disciplinary action towards Kai Walker, but as the story unfolds, we will let you in on the proceedings of whether it will be disciplined or sanctioned. Earlier, we told you that matches will be coming up in the NPFL. If you can have it all on your screen right now, the matches that will be coming from the NPFL tomorrow, Wednesday, the 11th of October 2023. We have matches that will be coming up in the NPFL this tomorrow. It will be between Rangers and Plateau United. Eyimba is also playing tomorrow. Also, the new club in Lagos, it's Doma United. Also, Bayelsa United will be taking on Remo Stars. Enugu Rangers will be taking on Tornadoes. Abia Warriors will be taking on Kano Pillars. And Katsina United will be taking on Lobby Stars. Sunshine will be at home with Atlant. And Shooting Stars will be taking on Gombe United, while Bender Insurance will be taking Plateau United. That's it for sport on Newspaper Review this morning. Thank you very much for watching. I go back to Modot.
So you don't have to hear all of the matches, and then for this our proud this lady that is making us proud right now.
Yes, Risola Babajide.
Honestly,
yes.
I am super proud that she is doing this and she's.
And interestingly, he had to migrate his nationality from the UK to Nigeria.
So you can just imagine that. So if we have other people also coming up to do this, it will continue to make us proud. And please, I also urge that the government also pay attention to the sport aspect of the team. It
Yes.
really would go a long way, because really, if we have young ones who are doing this, they would bring honor to us at the end of the
Yes.
day, and then
And they will take them off the streets also.
honestly, and then we'll all be proud that yes, we have somebody who is up there doing something that is making us proud.
Yes, of
Okay,
course.
to this point, we say thank you so much for joining us on this day news. It's been a fantastic time doing the review with you all out there. Thank you so much for joining us on CAC TV.